Okay, this question is mostly for Dan. Like, have you ever like walked up to the producers and say, "Don't worry, guys, I can handle like the transforming noises, like or like whatever"?
Well, we didn't have to do the. That was done electronically. You know, I was talking about that interview I did with Scott Brownlee, who was our engineer. I will tell you one, if you want to hear. You know who Orson Welles was? Yes. Everybody? Okay, you would know because he was in the Transformers movie. He played a planet, and none of us were allowed to be at the session. It was only him, Scott Brownlee, the engineer, and a couple of and the director, and a couple of people from Sunbow or Marvel. Excuse me.
Wow. Orson Welles, I know.
So he came in. He sat on this high stool. He had to put his chihuahua on the stool next to him. And they start reading. And Wally goes, "All right, this is take number 4. This is Unicron. Take 1." And then Wally, in an attempt to help him, does something called reading him in. He reads the line before him. So he goes, "I hope this works." And Orson Welles looked up at him and said, "Are you giving me a line reading?" He'd never been so flustered. It was, no, Mr. Welles, I just was reading you into the next line. So Welles looks down, looks back up. "So you were." Got it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, you didn't mess with Orson Welles. He was.
And he died. This is like his last credit. He died shortly after that.
Yeah.
So how about that for a show business? Here's Orson Welles and Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Here's the Transformers, the movie.
Yeah.
Quite a run.
You know about the Panic of 1938, don't you? Yeah. And he caused that whole thing.
He did.
By interrupting.
Yeah, people thought that Martians were attacking. All right. Thank you. Thanks, man.
Next person.
How we doing? Does anybody care about any of this stuff or not? That's all I need is unqualified devotion.
Yes.
Is my wife here? If she's here, Joselle, I am never taking out the trash again. I'm like a god, do you understand?
Patty, did you hear
Look,
that?
it's a Star Trek episode right now. Jim, you're nothing to me. You're like a bird of dust.
My wife is here too. And
Where is she?
She's right there. And
look at her.
And she's
So, no.
Huh?
You cradle robber, you.
I got her.
Oh, I want to tell you. What are we?
She's 23.
You're a dirty old man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
So, I have 2 questions.
All right.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to think. Okay, what is your favorite Transformers TV show?
TV show?
Yeah, TV show.
G1 Transformers.
What about Victor?
Yeah, G1 Transformers, Victor.
All right, what are your favorite characters in those shows?
Bumblebee. Announcer.
Yep.
Narrator.
As expected.
Yeah. Huh?
As expected, as I thought.
I didn't understand what you just said.
As expected, I thought.
Yeah, okay, I see. All right. Have you asked all your 2 or 3 or 4 questions?
Yes.
Very good.
Okay,
I hope we served you well. You know, I got to say, it's so great to be with you guys. It's really such fun. So many people have come up to me. No, let me be serious and maudlin for a second. Like, pretend I'm Greg Berger. I have been told so many times, like, thank you so much for what you gave us as a kid. You know, I was going through a rough time. My parents were going through divorce, and this helped me, you know, this gave me a half an hour's relief from that or what. To hear something like that, I mean, we're performers. We're not curing cancer. We're not putting people on any planets or anything. But it's nice to know that we were able to have some effect on you guys. And that's a huge feeling.
And we had no idea. I had a gentleman come up to me. I went to one of those Lifeline things, and one of the guys said to me, as I went into the cubicle, he said, "I didn't know your face," he said, "but I knew that voice. I heard that voice coming in." He said, "You changed my life." And I thought, how could I do that? Well, I asked Jessie, my handler, about that, and she said, "There's an answer to that." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yes." She said, there was a time in the 80s when a lot of young people, young kids, were depressed, or their parents had just gotten divorced or something like that. And the Transformers was an uplifting thing. It was a force for good. The Autobots always won. It was an uplifting experience, and it made you feel good. I said, "Oh, I didn't realize that, because I never watched it, because I was an old guy, at the time, well, relatively speaking. So I never realized that."
Wait, she's texting.
Today.
You've totally lost her, Victor. She's
I was just making sure I
texting her
had
friend.
my things
I think
ready.
I just answered her question.
Okay, no, that was all right. Sorry, Victor, but I got 2 questions for Dan real quick. The first one was from a friend of mine who couldn't come, and my friend asked, what was your favorite Bumblebee moment?
Well, as I said before, Transfer to Oblivion, I think, is the one I'm talking about. Yeah, where they're going to see if the space bridge to shoot everything up back into Cybertron works, and they stick Bumblebee and Spike in there. And it's the first time Spike and Bumblebee had a lot to do with each other, so I enjoyed that part a lot. And I really liked it when they wrote a scene for Bumblebee and his little pal, because frankly, he was you. He represented you guys. So Spike was the audience. So whenever we had a scene between us, it was almost like you were talking to me, I think, or not me necessarily, but Bumblebee. Anyway.
And my second question was, how did it feel when you and Peter Cullen did the whole trial thing for the Jonestown Transformers statues?
Yeah, it was great. This is really interesting. You guys should look this up somewhere. There's this really rich guy in Georgetown in D.C. who has these giant Transformer statues. First of all, they had him in front of his house, and then they made him take him down. He's got him on top of his house. The whole neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, it's a real FU. So the neighbors are up in arms because this is Georgetown. We don't go with that sort of thing. So he asked. They had a board meeting for their board, and it was on Zoom. So Peter Cullen appeared, and I appeared as Optimus and as Bumblebee. Yeah. Yeah, it was great. It was great fun. They haven't gotten it passed. This guy's going to still work. They don't understand. You say they can't fight City Hall. If you got enough money, you can. And you can win. Okay, go ahead. You've already had 12 questions.
And I just wanted one more note. I have Bumblebee perfume in my bag, so I'll go get it and show it to you.
All right.
I'll get it soon.
Thank you.